Do you know Excel can be used to make career decisions? Welcome to our today's tutorials. Over here, we are coming to learn how we can use Excel to make decisions. Now, by the end of this lesson, we should be able to use Excel to make a career choice. So this is my career. I have procurement manager, data analyst, entrepreneur, and an engineer. So we are coming to start a new one. So I'll be coming to teach you step by step on how to use Excel to make a decision. Before we continue, please like, share, and follow us for more of this. Now let's start. I am going to click on my new file and then select a new Excel worksheet. Over here, I will write a career decision. Career decision. I'll come down and then get my job. So this will be my job. So over here, I will have my job. Now I will choose for job. I am to make a decision on a job to choose. So I will list some of the jobs here. This is my own personal one. So as you are also watching, you make your own job listing so that Excel can help you choose the one that will best suit you. Over here, this is my job listing. So here I'll start with a procurement manager. Procurement manager. The next one will be a data analyst. A data analyst. The next job on my listing will be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur. And then my last job will be an engineer. Engineer. Yes. So I'm having a 4 career jobs for which I am to choose on. So I am going to consider some factors to choose one of them. What are some of the factors that we are going to see? Here we will consider about pay, the payment. Let me adjust this a little bit. These are my 4 job listing. So we are going to continue and check what are some of the factors in choosing a job. Now we know that payment is a very good factor when you are considering a job. So I write payment here. The next one, we will check about the job availability. So the available market, that's what we check about. The available market on the job. When you are done with the available market, we will go to let's say enjoyment. Let me extend this one. So these are some of the factors in choosing a job. So we have payment, we have available market. Let's see what are some of the other factors that we can add. So we see enjoyment, the enjoyment in the work. And then we move to, let me extend it. We move to my talent. So the talent I have on the job. And then we will move to my schooling. So the schooling I have on the job. These are the factors on choosing one of these career paths. So I have inserted these factors into Excel. So now we have the career decision jobs. You have the payment, you have the available market, you have the enjoyment in the jobs, you have the talent, and then we have the schooling. Now I have given it a rate of 10 because we can take it as a consideration of 100%. We can use 100% as the rate, but here I want to use 10 to get small values. So a rate of 100% means that when we take a procurement manager as an example, what are their payment range? Is it a low payment or a medium payment or a high payment? So that's the rate you are taking. So if we are rating it as 100%, that means maybe we can choose that a procurement manager payments are very high, so we will give it like a range of 90%. These are the rates that we'll be using, but over here I want us to use a smaller rate. That's why I have reduced it into 10. So we will be using 10 instead of 100%. So we are coming to see the rate that each career path will score. So let's start with the payment of a procurement manager. Now in Ghana, what are typically range or the payment that a procurement manager would get? Through my findings, I would say that they get a medium salary. So I will give it a rate of 6. So it will get a 6 out of 10. So this is the rate score. So their payment, I will give it a 6 out of 10. What are the available markets here? So we are seeing that after completing school, is there an available market in the industry of a procurement manager? So what are the available markets, or what are the gap markets in the procurement manager industry? So over here, the available market is not all that huge, so I will give it a minimum range. So I'll give it a rate of 5. Then we move on to the next one, which will be enjoyment. Enjoyment, we are going to see the enjoyment in a procurement manager. So as me being a procurement manager, will I be enjoying the job, or will I be under pressure? Right here, I know that as a procurement manager, I'll be working for people, so there was going to be kind of pressure. So I won't give it a high score of enjoyment. So I will give it a low enjoyment, which is 4, because I'll be working for my bosses, and then in other circumstances, they will be giving me pressure. Now let's see talent. Do I have talent as a procurement manager? No, I'm not having much talent in a procurement manager. So that one too, I'll choose a lower range. Let's see the schooling. As for schooling, I have more education on procurement manager because I'm currently studying it as a course. So that means I have a higher range for the schooling. So the schooling, I will choose something like 8. So this is the factors of being a procurement manager. These are the listing. Now let's go to being a data analyst. Data analyst, upon my research, I have seen that their payments are very high, even at a lower entry. So I will give it at the rate of, let's say, 7. Moving on to the available market. Yes, as you become a data analyst, there are available markets there. So that one too, but it's not guaranteed. So I'll give it a rate of 6. Let's see enjoyment. Yes, so I know that as a data analyst, I can be working in my comfort zone and at my own peace of time. So there won't be much pressure. So the enjoyment too can be there. I can enjoy a little bit. So let me give the enjoyment at a rate of 6. Do I have talent in data analyst? Oh, I can say that I'm good in numbers. So I have a little talent in data analyst. So I will give it at the rate of 5. And then in schooling, though I'm not having much schooling, but I'm having some short knowledge about them. So the schooling too, I'll give it at a minimum range, which is like 6. So we move on to an entrepreneur. We all know that an entrepreneur can be a very tricky one. As you are starting of being an entrepreneur, the pay is not guaranteed. So I'll give it at a rate of 5. So that means it is dynamic, it changes. The available market as an entrepreneur, we know that the entrepreneurship, the available market is very there. So if you have your capital and your business idea, you can just start up going. So the available market is there, unlike going to seek for a job. So I will give it at a higher rate, which is 8. Now, enjoyment in entrepreneurship. Yes, you being an entrepreneurship, you don't enjoy much because there are some decisions and certain things that you'll be doing for your own. So I am going to give it so enjoyment to, I'll give it at a minimum range, which is 5. Let's move to talent. Do I have talent in entrepreneurship? From the beginning, I think I was having some passion in entrepreneurship. So the talent too, I will give it a score of 6. Schooling, yes, not much schooling, but I have other schooling, or I have taken some knowledges through some podcasts and other things. So schooling too, I will give it a rate of 6. Let's move to engineer as a course. Now, engineer, there are payments in this country. There are payments in Ghana. We will give it a range of, let's say 5. They take a minimum range. What are the available markets? The available market of engineers, I think, is very wide. So I'll give it at a higher rate, like a rate of 7. Enjoyment in engineering, no, there's no enjoyment in it. So I give it a 3. Talent, I don't have much talent in entrepreneurship. So I'll give it at 4. And then schooling, I studied a little knowledge about engineering, so I'll give it at 4. Now we have known our factors in all of these: payment, available market, enjoyment, talent, and schooling. We are going to know how Excel can help us make a decision. Now, before we continue, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share it to someone who may need to make a career decision, to also use Excel to help him or her to make his or her career decision. Now let's continue. After we are done here, we cannot base on these factors to make a decision. There are certain things that we have to add to make our decision very solid and accurately. What are we coming to do? We are coming to include other factors. We are coming to see our attention that we will give to each of these factors. So the attention that I will give to payment will be different from the attention I will give to available market. The attention I will give to enjoyment will be different from the attention I will give to talent. So we are going to rate each factors on the attention that we give to it. Over here, we are going to insert a new tab in front of each factors. So let's see how to insert a new tab. Right click and then insert. We do the same thing to this one. I do the same thing to this one. Do the same thing to this one. And we do the same thing to this one. Yes. So all these factors, we have created a space for each factor. So we are going to give it a score attention. A score attention. Now don't forget we are using the same rate of 10. So when I come to pay, I'm going to check the attention that I will give to pay, available market, enjoyment, talent, and schooling. Okay, so let's start. Payment. Now when I'm going to choose a job, my attention will go to payment, though the payment will not be the main focus, but it's a very necessary thing. So I'll give the attention of 7. Yes, we all want money, so I'll give it an attention of 7. Let's go to available market. Yes, we know that the available market is the most important thing in job findings. So the job that is there, I have to choose the available market job which is there. So available market, I am going to give it an attention of 9. It is going to score high attention. Let's see enjoyment. Enjoyment is part, but in this economy I cannot focus on enjoyment. So enjoyment, I won't give it much attention like that, but minimum 1, which is 5. And then talent we can learn as we go. So talent, I won't give it much attention like that, so I'll give it like 5. And then schooling, it doesn't matter because nowadays most graduates don't even use their certificate for jobs, so schooling won't be much important here, so I won't give schooling much attention, so I will give it like 4. Now we have gotten our figures here. So these are our values according to their importance of the factors. So you can see that payment scores 7, available market, we gave it an attention of 9, enjoyment 5, talent 5, and then schooling 4. Let's see how to go about it. So over here we are going to multiply these factors by the attention. So as procurement manager, their payment is 6, so I'm going to multiply this 6 by the 7. The data analyst, their payment is a score of 7, so I'm going to multiply it by this 7 to get the value. These are the values that we are going to use to make our decision. Now let's get started. So we are going to use Excel formulas to make this calculation. So we are going to calculate for the score of procurement manager. We click on this one and then we will type the equal sign. The equal sign here, as I have taught you in my previous video about how to use some of these formulas. So if you don't know how to use Excel formulas, go and check my previous video and learn and come back to continue with this one. Okay, so I have my equal sign here. We start with the payment. So that is B4 by control shift by 8. So I will click on the next, I'll click on the 7 and then press enter. I'll get 42. So Excel has done the calculation for me, very simple. So here 6 by 7, you can see that we'll get 42. We are going to do the same thing for this one, but in Excel there are some strategies and shortcuts used to calculate some of these things. So as we have done this one for the first one, we are not going to do it one by one for the rest. We are going to use a simple formula to calculate for the rest of the figures. So over here, I'll calculate for the rest by dropping it down, dragging it down, and we get this. But here Excel has given me a wrong figure because Excel use a absolute reference, but it is supposed to use a relative reference, but Excel use absolute reference because B4 and then 6th, when you click on this one, Excel is supposed to multiply the B7 by 7, the C7, but I didn't do it this way because it used a relative reference. Now there's a formula here that we are going to use. Let's see how to do about this. So in order to solve this problem, we are making this C3 a relative reference. So what do? I'm going to use a dollar sign in front of this. A dollar sign in front of this, and I will press enter. Now the same 42. Now let's go back to our normal formula. We drag the thing again. You see that the numbers will change. Yes. So as we use a relative formula, see that Excel has given us a good formulas because of this dollar sign here. We are going to use the same thing for the rest of the factors. So we can see that 7 by 7 will be 49, 5 by 7, 35. So everyone has scored each number. Let's go back to available market. The same thing. We will multiply the available market of 5 by the attention. So we will start by using the equal sign. Click on this one, multiply by this, and then we press enter. This is what is going to give us 45. In order to use the same formula to get the values of this, we are going to use the dollar sign, the relative formula. So we will insert a dollar sign here to help us get the rest of the formulas. So this is what we are going to get. Yes. Let's move to enjoyment. The same thing. Sorry. Click on 4, which is Jane 4, and then we multiply it by the 5. Yes. I have to use the dollar sign as a relative reference. Yes, press enter. So Excel, you will drag it down to get the rest of the values. Okay, so let's get back to talent. The same formula, the same formula, the same formula. And then we move back to schooling. Click our equal sign. Click on the schooling factor. And you multiply it by the attention. I'm going to give, yes, the same formula. Okay, so we'll give it a dollar sign to help us with our calculations. We'll drag it down to get the rest of the values. Yes. So we are done with these values. I will encourage everyone to stay tuned and focus on watching, because we are going to learn a lot of insight in this video. Let's move on to how to calculate the total. So we are getting the values over here. We are going to calculate the total for all of these values. So we are going to use this total of the 42, 45, 20, 20, and 32. So we are going to add up all of this to get the final value that each job will score. So let's come here, we'll write total. Write total. So we are going to add up all of the numbers, not these ones, but the ones we multiply. So the big numbers, we are going to add up from them. So we are taking the procurement manager. For the first one, we'll start with an equal sign here, and then we will click on this plus, we'll move it to 45 plus, okay, no, it's not 45, we made a mistake here. It's supposed to be, yeah, it's 45. U4 plus, we move to 20 plus, we move to another 20 plus, and then the last one will be 32. I'll press enter, which is 159. 159. This is the total. Let's apply the same formula and let's see how Excel can help us. So over here, I'm going to drag it down for Excel to calculate it for me, the rest of the figures for me. Yes, so Excel has done justice to it. So he has calculated the rest of the figures for me. So here, procurement manager scored 159, data analyst scored 182, entrepreneur scored 186, and then engineer, you can see engineer scored the lowest figure. Now let's separate all these job descriptions with a color. Yes, let's separate all of them with a color. So we are going to give all of them a color. So let's start with the pay. We select here and then choose a color for pay. You choose a color for pay. So let's give it this color. We go to available market. We select and then choose the color for the available market. We choose the color for available market. Let's give it green. So the available market, will give it a color green. We are giving all of this color to distinguish between each job factors. So you can see that without the color, all of them are being mixed. But as we gave it a color, we can distinguish the payment, the available market, the enjoyment, the talent, and the schooling. So that's why we are giving it a color. So let's start with the enjoyment. We are continuing with the enjoyment. So we will give the enjoyment a color. We'll highlight and then come and select a color for the enjoyment. We'll give it light blue, and then we will do a talent. A talent too, we will do it. We highlight it and then give it a color. So a different color. And then let's get back to schooling. Schooling, different color. Okay, so this one is okay. Yes. So after giving all of this a color, we can see that the pay is being distinguished. Yeah. So as we can see, as we are doing the, yes, so the colors have made me distinguish my work very nicely. But as we can see, as we are doing the work, there is a gap here, so we don't want it because it will make our work look a little bit not nice. So I want to get rid of this column. So what do? I will right click on this and then go to hide. There's hide here. Just click, it will hide it. So we can see that I have gotten a uniform work. So we have the payment, available market, enjoyment, up to schooling. Now these are each score. We are going to use a conditional formatting. If you don't know conditional formatting, check my previous video and learn about conditional formatting. We are going to use conditional formatting to let us make our career decision. So I am going to select these numbers and then this conditional formatting. I will choose this and then use the color scales. Okay, choose this, or let me use the new one. Okay, I'll use this one. Yes, so we can see that the highest value is 186. It has distinguished itself. So which career job scored the highest one? It is an entrepreneur. So it means that I have to choose an entrepreneur. And then the second one is a data analyst. It scored a value of 182. So Excel has made a decision for me that I have to pursue an entrepreneur. If I'm not able to pursue an entrepreneur, then I have to choose a data analyst. And the procurement manager and the engineer, they score the lowest figures. So these two, I'm not going to consider them, but these two are the ones Excel chose it for me. You can use it to make any of your decisions as you are at home. Try and see what and how Excel can use to help you make your decision. This will be the end of our lesson, and please don't forget to subscribe, share and like. Share it to your friends to also help him or her to make his decision. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.